Hey guys, this is the Ultimate Warrior here, and this is going to be a kind of a downer video for me, but this recently just happened like maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago, so I kind of wanted to do this video while I'm still kind of in my emotions. But as you can tell by the title, I don't know what that title's going to be, but from whatever it is, you can obviously tell that I had to cancel a statue pre-order, and if I didn't mention it in the title, that statue pre-order is the Metal Gear Solid Twin Snake Combo Edition from First Four Figures. You know, it's based off of Solid Snake from the first Metal Gear Solid game for the PlayStation 1, like I believe at Shadow Moses. I had purchased, or rather pre-ordered, the exclusive edition, as well as the special edition, which included a translucent, clear, bluish clear resin type. Definitely check it out to kind of see for yourself what I'm talking about. But it was they were really cool statues. They're two different statues, and I was really looking forward to getting them when the pre-orders first came out. But yeah, I just canceled them. And for several reasons, which mostly boil down to priorities, space, and finances, more or less. They kind of intertangle with one another. So I actually, or at least for the time being, let's just hit on the finances part of it. So the payment plans, which were really good, $95 a month on average. I think it's like an extra 5% if you use PayPal. To pay it off, the statue cost was gonna be about, for both of them, slightly over $1,000, about $1,039, somewhere in that ballpark. But so obviously I chose the a payment plan, the lowest payment plan I could get, which was, I believe, about 8 months for $95, and then you pay the final amount in, I think, the last month of it, which is about $185. But it seemed like after I started it, here's where the finances come in. It became really hard for me to keep that up, because at the time I had just got hired into my new job, and I absolutely love it. But when I was working with the temp agency, I went from getting paid weekly to bi-weekly, and yeah, that's been kind of a struggle to have to keep that up, and made me have to manage my funds even a little bit more. So there's that, and I have that, you know, um, to deal with. And then, there was just, that's a lot for me. $95 when you're paying bills, because I'm kind of new at paying bills. I'm kind of doing my adulting kind of late. At the time I was committed, and but surprisingly, finances isn't the well, yeah, it is a big reason, but not keeping the finances up for it, or feeling like I can't keep up the payments up, just on that alone, yeah. If that was the only reason why I canceled that, uh, or if that was the only reason, I wouldn't have canceled for that, because I'm doing pretty good. I'm able to keep my payments up. But another issue just came with space, and just having the space for and this video is going to be all over the place, so I'm kind of apologizing for that. I don't really have any deep message here, just kind of throwing it out there why I decided to cancel, and going through, this is my emotions so far. But space was another big priority. I have a small room, and currently my space is extremely limited. And having two of the more or less same statues with just a virtual color swap, I was going to have to put one of those statues like in another room, or quiet room or whatever. And so really I want to keep all my statues here like in my room because I know, I have my niece and nephews going in and out of our quiet room that we have. And yeah, things tend to get broken when that happens. So space, it was a thing to me, and it was a issue, but it was one of those things I try to be willing to work out. But in my statue collection or statue journey rather, like I'm starting to realize that the statue industry they are continuing. Seems like a lot of the companies are thriving. They're coming out with different stuff, some of them. And, I'm fairly new to collecting statues, but what I'm learning is there's always going to be statues coming out. And there will be more statues coming out than space that I have. That combined with finances, you really got to, I guess, pick your battles wisely. I don't really want to call it a battle, but you just gotta choose wisely as to what you want to collect. I'll probably get into or make another video about this sometime down the future about my preference of statues to collect, but um, right now my big theme is like men with guns and Persona 5. But again, that's another story or another video for another time. But yeah, Solid Snake, he is a man with a gun. He's a soldier, agent, however you want to call him. But, there are other guys, men with guns coming out that I do want. And this is kind of relaying back to the issue of space. And that is the Kotobukiya's Resident Evil statues of Chris Redfield and Leon Kennedy. And I've looked at their prices for both of them. They'll run me over $300, probably about the 330, 340 range. And like as far as the finances go, which going back to that, my finances are kind of constrained right now because now I'm paying for my own insurance. I'm turning 26 next month. And, figured, well, I should be paying for my own insurance. I actually got a mail or, letter saying that my account was closed. I'm sorry. That my account may have been closed in error, so I got to check on that Monday. But if I'm not paying on it yet, I will be. So that combined with not having any overtime right now at our job is kind of really constricting my finances. So you got that combined with the space, combined with the other statues that I want. And there's two statues I was just talking about, Chris and Leon. They're much smaller. I believe they're 1/6 scale as opposed to 2 1/4 scales, which are huge. They 1/4 scale takes up a lot, and I mean a lot of space. It could easily take up like a third of a dresser, depending on how big the dresser is. So yeah, I just wanted to get, if at least through my refund, get some extra money so I could buy those two Kotobukiya statues from Resident Evil, which are kind of in the line of what I was looking for. So if you check those out, they both have guns. I want to be able to get them so I can point them at each other, which was my dream to do with two Resident Evil statues. I couldn't do that with the Resident Evil 6 statues. I could do it with Leon, but Chris, he does not have a gun to point. He has a gun, but he just can't point it like in that classic Leon versus Chris Redfield fight in Resident Evil 6. That's the kind of look I'm going for. Yeah, these two are with vendetta, but, you know, I can still point them at each other and make that dream come true. So, another reason, yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of really down about this, because there are steep penalties for counseling for canceling, but I'll get into that in a minute. But another reason is there's actually another color swap of the Metal Gear Solid 1 or statue that I wanted. And this one would be a neon green. And I like that one too. Initially, I didn't pre-order that one because, you know, I didn't think it would turn out as good, but seeing some of the examples and seeing some of the, I guess, I wouldn't say finished product, but seeing like parts of the finished product or stuff that's in development rather, it had me interested. And when I did pre-order at the time, you know, there are people, they were getting like all 3 editions, and as much as I wanted all 3 editions, kind of, you know, I just didn't have the space for it. Like, I can barely find the space now for 2 of the same statues. Which, that's one thing I kind of knew, like, getting into this, like, yeah, I'll have 2 of the same statues, different color swaps, but right now, I kind of find it to be, I don't know, a bit much to have to display and store them in my room and whatnot. And going back to just being stricter on what I personally want as a statue collector, which again, this could be warranted in another video, but when I collect statues, when I see my statue, I want there to be a memorable moment that I personally experienced with that statue. Which, you know, if I see it, I want to be instantly reminded of a scene, and it captivates me in a way. It kind of takes me back to when I was playing or watching a movie or whatever. And so I played Metal Gear Solid 1, but I never beat it. I did watch the Let's Play, but if I can be honest, I really enjoyed the characters of Metal Gear Solid 3, or, you know, the characters around Big Boss a bit more. So that goes back to space, because I'm hoping that this company, First 4 Figures, will eventually make a Metal Gear Solid 3 or Peace Walker line with Big Boss. I would really love that. Big Boss, he's one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite Metal Gear Solid characters. So I think, you know, giving up Snake would definitely be worth it if we ever did get Big Boss. It may not happen, but just in case it did, you know, I want there to be a special space for him. Which, you know, I think is going to be years from now. Maybe 5 years. 3 years. If I'm lucky, 2 years. But, so yeah, that's a big thing. I got into Metal Gear Solid. I've been a fan since I was young. But the very first Metal Gear Solid game that I actually beat was Peace Walker. So, naturally, anything that revolves around Big Boss and his story, I'm going to be a little bit more attached to, just because of my biases. You know, I love Snake. He's cool and all, but, you know, Big Boss is where I have the connection to, or who I have the connection to. Regardless of what happened in Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, I still love my Big Boss, kind of. So yeah, I've covered some of the main points, and here's another, I guess, kind of deep but not so deep reason why I decided to cancel, or I keep saying cancel, which I spoke about it a little bit earlier about having the 3 different colored snakes. You got your clear blue, your translucent neon green, blue, or I mean not neo green blue, neon green colors. You know, these are the colors based off of the stealth camouflage in the game. The first game, very first game on the PS1, it was green because of technical limitations, and that is the edition, the camouflage edition most people went with. While the original edition that was gonna come forth was the blue one, that was the one I chose. But yeah, all of the editions, you know, I think they look nice. And it kind of gets to, at least for me, a place where, okay, if I bought these two statues, and, you know, let me see if I can, like, take a picture of it. I don't know how to edit anything in or out, stuff like that. But, if I got those two statues, deep down, there would be somewhere within me saying, you should have got the third one, or you should have got the green one, neon green. And knowing that I don't have the money to pick up a third statue, especially of like if it's a same color swap, yeah, that's just not going to cut it for me. Is because I think at that point it gets to more of an issue of, you know, there's always something more. You're striving for something. I don't want to say being greedy, but it's more for me about learning how to be content with what I have, if that makes sense. And so I'd feel a little bit sad just getting two when you know there's a third one out there that looks equally as good. Yeah, this is so ghetto. I'm so sorry. I should have had this prepared, but like I said, this just happened, and I kind of wanted to record my feelings and emotions on the whole thing of canceling. Give me one moment. There we go. I really should learn how to edit. Okie dokie. So just for your reference, if you don't check it out, here's what it kind of looks like. Yeah, that's not going to really cut it, but definitely check out the site. They're really cool statues, and I don't think you're gonna be able to see the colors in it. I tried. But who knows, I might even make this video unlisted. And then just make it like an official, well, not an official, but just another general video talking about statue concerns. Or at least canceling. I cannot say canceling. My mind doesn't want to cancel. You're saying you need counseling for canceling. But, yeah. It's just one of those things where I don't know if I'd truly be content with just having two. I'd want three. And that's just one thing where if you get to that point, you're constantly going to be striving to want more, and there's a possibility of just not being satisfied with what you have. At least for me. I can't speak upon other statue collectors, but at least for me that's the case. So I wanted to nip that in the bud while I still could. So, and this wasn't something that I didn't take seriously, or at least not take seriously. I like to think I took this decision seriously, because the penalties are steep for canceling. Yes, canceling. Of course, you gotta put in a non-refundable deposit, but the thing is with this particular company, which I don't mind, I agreed to the terms, was that for each payment, you know, they keep $20, so I'm already out $100. So I kind of wish I made this decision earlier to cancel. So yeah, I'm a little upset about that. I mean, letting $100 fall out of my wallet and not picking it up, essentially. But you know, that's the risk I took, or the terms I accepted. And surprisingly, I'm not as mad as or not mad, but I'm not as kicking myself in the forehead over it, because I still have like 5 more payments of like $95 and then the final payment. So I'll be saving money for that. Oh, and on a side note, Anime Expo is coming up, and it's coming up faster than it seems. You know that little sign like teachers like to put up, warning due dates are closer than they appear, and this one is coming really close. I have to start looking in February, because that's when the premiere block gets open, and try to book a hotel and come up with a $500 deposit. And so far, I only have a little over 200 saved for it, because I have a rocky time saving. That combined with lack of overtime, combined with supposedly paying for health insurance. So yeah, this was a tough decision. That, and on top of saving for the hotel and saving for the flight, hopefully along with the cosplays I plan on doing, which heck, some of those cosplays are probably going to be recycled because I probably only have enough money to get one commission. But compared to all of that stuff, I feel like I'm making a good decision. And if I ever want to buy them again, I can always try to find them in the aftermarket. Prices might be jacked up, but if I want it bad enough, I'll get it. But it's a lot of statues coming out that I want. I might as well give this to someone who's on the wait list wanting for it. Whoever gets my fairly high number on there. I hope you have a good time and you enjoy it. I hope you're happy that your waitlist number can be converted. So yeah, how do I feel now? I feel relieved. I still feel a bit sad. But ultimately, just I don't want to say the wrong timing or bad timing, but just my priorities changed. And I'm looking forward to all of the other stuff First Four Figures will be coming out with in the future. They're looking into getting a Persona 5 license, and with there being 9 Phantom Thieves, and let's not forget Confidants, maybe. That's a lot to try to figure out where to put them in my room, because I would definitely try to pick up on those, most likely. Persona 5 is closer to my heart than Metal Gear Solid 1 is. Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker is closer to my heart than Metal Gear Solid 1 is. So, I guess that's pretty much all I can say is I can't wait to see what they do in those regards. And as when I do get my refund, my plan is I'm going to try and go for the Chris Redfield and Leon Kennedy statues from Kotobukiya, because I love Chris Redfield and I like Leon Kennedy and I want both their statues. I was trying to sell one statue that I have, the Horizon Zero Dawn Collector's Edition statue. I'm trying in a statue collector selling group on Facebook. No luck there. I've tried with a local yard sale group on the Facebook, but no luck there. So I don't know. I was hoping to try to raise some of the money for Chris. Still haven't gave up hope, but it's kind of looking bleak. Because if I can only buy one Resident Evil statue or Vendetta statue, that would be Chris. I'm just hoping with this refund, or what I will get of it, that I'll be able to get both Chris and Leon, which I should, hopefully. Just barely, but I should, with some change left over. Then after that, well, plan on saving towards Anime Expo, so I can actually have enough money to stay in a hotel there for the, I think it's like 5 nights. And hopefully have the money for, sorry, turning on my heat. Actually, no, let me wait till the video's almost over, so I'll be alright. But, yeah, just hoping to save up the money that would have went towards my statues to go to AX and get a couple of smaller statues that I can actually easily find a space for them. Even though that space is limited, there's still space for those two smaller statues. Like I said, 1/4 is bigger than 1/6. I can find space for 1/6 scale easier than I can 1/4 scale. Originally, I guess you ask, well, why even buy it in the first place? Well, pretty much because of the hype. When I wanted to buy, I literally told myself I wanted to buy an expensive statue. So I went to Sideshow. They had a Zangief statue that I wanted. It looked amazing, but with it being so close to the release date, and their payment plans were like $237 a month. I couldn't do that. And so I happened to go to the First War Figures and saw Snake, and I like Snake. It's expensive. You know, quality's nice. It's a large statue. So I got it. And I also got the Uncharted 4 statue that I showed off in my statue video. I got my bandoliers for that statue because the other ones broke off. I need to put those on there, like ASAP, and re-show the video. But yeah, it's that's a 1/4 scale too. So, and that one was like $75 a month. So basically, I kind of lost the hype, you know. They're still beautiful pieces, and I recommend anyone get them. But it's one of those things. I'm not the only one that cancels, and I'm not the first, and I sure as heck won't be the last. But hopefully, whoever is on that wait list to get the Twin Snake edition in that form, hopefully they can enjoy mine. And, you know, with that being said, I don't think I have anything else somewhat productive to say. It's kind of disheartening. I hate losing the money, but, you know, I do feel a bit of relief, you know, that's one less payment I have to deal with right now. Will I buy it in the future? I don't know. Maybe not. It's other stuff I want to see and buy to collect. I don't know if I'll have the space for it or if I'll be willing to make the space for it. So just one of those things. But if I do, I'll probably make a video on it. So yeah, guys. I guess that would be about it because my voice is starting to go out. If you happen to like this video or you're a fan of video games, Ultimate Game stuff, if you're a fan of drink testing, taste testing, toys, reviews, stuff like that, then feel free to check out the rest of my channel. And if you happen to like what you see, then please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I will see you all in the next video. Alright guys, talk to you later. Bye.